I know why you're sick of me. Asphyxiation from the lies we lead. Catch your breath for a week or 2 months, waiting for when it all comes at once. I can see patience in your eyes, but it's not a sense of pride in mine. Fold up the map before the water's uncharted, when you're searching for something absconded. Man, the gap between the fault and our natal. Should you fall apart with the unwinding fable? Two hearts can beat without illusions of distance. Come back to shore with a little persistence. I will look for gold on the ocean floor, like 1,000 men have done before. But there ain't no use in crying your heart out. You'll come back to where you start out. You don't need to drown for slowly sinking ships. You ought to be much nicer to me. Honesty's cheap, but I give it for free. Experience can be your bane or your teacher, but I'd rather play than sit in the bleachers. Par for the courses, it's never expected. Stay true to your heart and you'll be protected. If the darkness should frighten and blind you, recall the light that harbors and binds you. I will look for gold on the ocean floor, like 1,000 men have done before. But there ain't no use in crying your heart out. You'll come back to where you start out. You don't need to drown for slowly
Hello. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. It's not the most beautiful Sunday here, but every day that you're breathing is pretty beautiful to me. Chat's already pretty interesting, I guess. Galactic Federation of Planets has just asked for and begin giving permission to land on Earth. I hope so. I hope they come and take me back to wherever the hell I'm from. I don't feel like I'm from this planet sometimes. Speaking of space stuff, not exactly the Galactic Federation, but we got that spaceship falling from China. I'm looking into that right now. It's expected to hit the Earth today at some point, which is exciting. You know, I haven't noticed anything about this phenomenon being affected by the Schumann resonance or anything like that, but it's possible. We're going to follow the same format of the last stream. If you are here for the last stream, that's awesome. Welcome back. If you're new to the stream, welcome. So yeah, it landed in the Indian. Oh, it already landed? That's pretty wild. I didn't know that. Thankfully, it didn't hit anyone. Oh wow, last night. Guess I missed that. So yeah, if anyone has any questions regarding the Schumann resonance, anything like that, fire away. That's really what this stream is for, kind of just doing a Q&A, that sort of thing. Schumann spiked at 110 earlier. 110? Like 1 o'clock? What time is that? It's today, the 9th. Is there an app? Twitter banned me. That's unfortunate. I don't have an app. I know there is an app available on, I believe, the Apple Store. Unfortunately, whoever made it is charging for it, which I don't think that's right. Information should be free. If you don't want to use the app, you should still be able to access Twitter without logging in. I mean, I'm not logged in now, and I'm having no problems finding Schumann bot. But if you do get banned from Twitter, you don't want to use it, whatever, you can just Google SOSRFF. That's the source from where I get the images. It is in Russia. And let me just open this in Chrome. I can't read Russian, I kind of just remember this by heart. But in Chrome it should be translated for you automatically, and you'll have the Schumann resonance chart right here. Miker014 says last week was definitely wild on Schumann. Definitely felt the energy in the overnight hours where I was wide awake. Yeah, last week it was pretty lit up. A lot of people were saying they were feeling the effects of the Schumann resonance, and yeah, it's been off the charts lately. That's for sure. And actually, yeah, I'll post that link in the chat here. SOSRFFTSU.ru. I wonder what lit up means. By that I just mean we were seeing high amplitude last week, and really recently. From what I've noticed for tracking this for a few years now, which is kind of crazy. It's nuts. It's been like almost 4 years that Schumann bot has been around. It feels like I just made it yesterday, but what I mean by lit up is just that it's really high amplitude, and by high amplitude I mean we're seeing this white signal here. Yeah. Break it down for a dummy like me. Kruru, Crux Rux. Not really sure how to pronounce that. What do you want to know? Are you just asking like how do you read the chart, or what kind of information are you looking for here? Easter weekend 2017, yeah. There's a lot of activity around that time, 2017. Unfortunately, the charts don't go back that far. I only have from December 2017. James Joseph asked, what is the SR trend? Unfortunately, there's not. What is the SR trend? You know, that's part of the reason I started the bot, is because I've kind of wanted to go back and look at these trends and notice the trends. What is it called? Schumann. What's that wonderful chart that shows the entire month? I know some of you guys know it. Jeez, I'm pretty young, but I feel like my memory is already lapsing. What is it called? Schumann Recap. If you're not following this account, definitely check it out. It's an amazing account. So they take all the charts and they show it on a monthly basis. Kind of just take all the charts and stitch them together, which is really great. As far as a trend, looks like they haven't been active for a while, which is pretty sad. I'll have to reach out to them because we were in contact for some time. But as far as a trend, it's really hard to spot it. So like it seems that usually around the middle of each month there will be a spike in the resonance. It's not really reflected really well in these charts, but here you can see August 20, around the middle of the month, between the 12th and the 13th here, we're seeing some spikes. Similar for July, except July's really active. It's kind of offset by a few days here with the 20th, and early in the month was pretty active as well. I think that could be related to the moon cycles, which is why I started adding the little moon emoji to all of the tweets here. And I'll have to reach out to Schumann Recap because they do a really nice job of stitching together all the graphs. And they haven't been active for a few months, so they kind of have a lot of work cut out for them. But I'd love to see the relationship between the moon cycles and the Schumann resonance. It's been getting more and more intense since the 2010s. That's true. A lot of people have pointed that out. So Kim Torpy says the resonance was discovered by Schumann over 100 years ago and is the frequency of the Earth, which has been steady at 7.8 until recent years. That's kind of true. So a lot of people say that the Schumann resonance is increasing, which is kind of not really the right terminology. So 7.8 hertz is still the dominant frequency. It's just that we're seeing a lot more spikes in the higher ranges, like the like way up high, like above 14 hertz pretty much is pretty abnormal, and that's what people mean by the Schumann resonance has been increasing. Amazing trying to understand what it means with the spike. is it like a heartbeat spiking as an example? It is kind of like a heartbeat spiking. It's a lot like that. So basically, it's almost like the Earth having a heart palpitation. Why is it happening? I don't really know. I don't think anyone really has a great answer for that. Spiritual liftoff. So if the moon is waning, things brought up to the surface to fall away. Please clarify that question, because I don't exactly understand what you're trying to ask there. How do humans feel during spike? And that question was asked by GT Bit Admin, by the way. That's kind of a subjective question, and that's also another one of the reasons I started the bot, is just because I would like for more people to kind of talk about what they feel during, I mean, even when the Schumann resonance isn't spiking, but a lot of people report things like headaches, kind of like anxiety, or like overall like this feeling of like higher vibration or energy in their bodies, as well as disturbances in sleep, which actually I've experienced myself as well, and I'd say I'm pretty in tune to that sort of stuff, and I'm pretty sensitive to subtle energies. Our brain waves love being around 8 hertz. I feel like the spikes are unsettling for us and bringing our OBS to the surface. Just my own observation. I definitely agree with that. Our brain seems to kind of be like programmed to be set to that 8 hertz frequency range, besides sleeping and other modes of the body, I guess you could say, like meditation and that sort of thing. Keone777, did you notice a large following increase around beginning of March? I'm not. Let me check the analytics here on Twitter, and I'm not logged in on my desktop, but I do have my laptop in front of me, so I'm going to check that out really quick. I don't know why that's significant, but let's see. I guess so. It's about average for every other month. The most active month this year was January, with 7,000 new followers. Our prior account did have close to 60,000 plus followers or so, and I kind of had to move that over to a new account just because well, I was being attacked by a group of hackers, actually, and a few other things. Patents, plant posies and stuff, thank you for answering truly. Not a problem. It seemed major downloads and people connecting on similar wavelengths around that time. Lots of activity spiritually as well. Yeah, I think that sort of thing happens in a cycle. So yeah, I can see what you're saying, but I didn't necessarily see a huge increase in followers over that period of time. Full moon on April 27th, 28th. What the SR at that time? Let's see. Scroll. See if it's on this chart. So the 28th there was a brief spike, but it wasn't really what we're seeing now. So yeah, 27th and 28th though, there is a lot of activity there, and if we compare it to the days prior, Let's see how that looked. I mean, every day leading up to the full moon, it seemed there was a lot of activity there. Micro014 says, and I normally never get headache. Oh wait, what did it say? Headaches on April 29th to the 30th for me, and also April 18th and 19th. I normally never get headaches. The Schumann Bros, gotcha. Yes, Keone, we are here. Let's see. We just looked at the 29th and 30th, so I'm going to pull up a chart for the 18th and 19th. Whoa, yeah, 19th was insane. That's a huge spike there. We're seeing spikes all the way up to 28 hertz or so, which is intense. I don't really know. It seems that most of the spiking happens around the 8 hertz frequency, but I don't know if that's... I don't know how we as humans respond to that. It's a very strange thing. D17 Tom, long time no see, welcome back. Keep these guys in check here. If anyone wants to go crazy in the chat, counting on you. Can you show a month view of April 2021? Mountain Girl, I would love to do that. Unfortunately, I can't. I don't know if you just joined, but as I was saying earlier, there is an account called Schumann Recap that stitches together charts of the entire month. Unfortunately, they haven't been active, seems like, all of this year, so maybe that's something I can start doing as well. But unfortunately, we don't have a monthly recap of 2021 at all. Susan Inspired has interesting interpretations of the Schumann charts. Yes, she really does. I follow her on Twitter. As I'm also subscribed to her YouTube channel, and she does a great job. How can we apply the time of day to the chart? How can we apply the time of day to the chart? What exactly do you mean by that, GTBit admin? Like, are you asking, like, how can we... Oh, I kind of see what you're asking, I think. And if I'm wrong, just tell me. But, yeah, it seems that... And this is in Tom's Russian time, but this is 12 a.m. UTC. Well, you're all probably in different time zones, so I don't really know how it relates. But if you ever want to translate UTC to local time, you can just do, let's just say like 12 a.m. UTC. Just Google it to PDT, and it'll tell you this is 5 a.m. Sunday in Pacific time. But basically, it seems like, yeah, it does cycle daily. So, like, the time of day does seem to matter in some way. You can see here that there's like this period of quiet, and then it'll spike, and then I'll have a period of quiet. I mean, it depends on your location, but people have said that it tends to occur like the early hours of the morning or overnight, and it spikes, I mean by that. Sue's Light World, hi, happy day. What was the name of the woman who has the YouTube channel? Susan something. Thank you so much. Susan Inspired, and I will also link that in the chat. Sheila Sutherland. Hi, I noticed the chart spiked to 110 hertz, and a friend asked, what is the highest the Schumann has spiked before? Do you know, or is 110 the highest? I will say that's probably a misinterpretation because most of the charts only go up to 40 hertz, but by that 110 number, I suppose you mean 110 on the HeartMath website, maybe? And the number on the HeartMath website is actually the amplitude. If anybody has a link to this, please link it in chat. Oh yeah, it's GCI lab data, never mind. I think. I haven't looked at this in a while. Let me try to find it. If anybody has the link, please link it in chat because, again, it's been a while since I've seen this. This is also a great resource if you want to go ahead and kind of study up on this thing and learn a little more about it. Live data. Is that on the spectrogram? Schumann resonance power. Yeah, so here around on April 22nd, we see GCI 001, which is the Californian measuring station, spikes up to 114, but I'm not sure. It's definitely not hertz. I'm not sure what it's a measure of though exactly. Length of screen is 24 hours but is continuous. Yes, so yeah, there's a lot of confusion about that. It actually shows a 3-day period. Here's May 8th, May 9th, and May 10th, which hasn't occurred yet, so this area is black. And then there's going to be 0 through 24 hours for each day here. I notice how sometimes weed and wine has no effect. You know, I feel that too, self-contented. Thinking about trying ketamine. This new bud, be careful. Oh my god, I know. I was at this dispensary like a few months ago and they were selling stuff that was like 30% THC. I'm like, geez, is that even weed anymore? Or like trying to overdose or something? Like, what is going on with that? I used to enjoy ket. Yeah, I've never tried it, but let's not turn this into a drug stream. Goddess asked, will you continue to have the live going as you did before? Yeah, so in the last stream I mentioned that it's something I'm still kind of working on. I had a lot of problems with it constantly going down because if you stream for like a long period of time, it automatically like shuts off and that kind of thing. And also like running it from, I run it from my house, so like it really kills my internet to keep it constantly going and that sort of thing. But I'm working on a solution. Hopefully by June I'll have something up and running. Sheila Sutherland asks, so does the timing of the spikes affect you as well? When they got going on April 18th, I could hear the wires in the wall, the electrical sounds, and the entire world was humming. So yeah, I guess the timing of the spikes does affect you just because there's like a certain cycle, kind of like a period of time where there are spikes. I haven't really experienced hearing electrical sounds or that sort of thing, but that's very interesting to hear. Secret Owl says, my friend has a seizure every time it spikes. Yeah, that's actually, again, that's, if you watched the last stream, that's one of the reasons I actually started the bot, just because that was something I was very interested in. My girlfriend constantly had seizures, and it seemed like it would always happen during the spikes, and at those times, I don't know if it was just like where I was living or what, but I'm sure like location matters, but I would wake up in the middle of the night, I would feel kind of like this energy rush over my body, and then like within a few minutes my girlfriend would have a seizure. It's pretty insane. What's the hertz right now? I see only an image. It's probably pretty low right now. I mean, the hertz are constant. It's kind of like what is the intensity of the hertz, but you can see here the normal ranges are active: 24, 20, 16. The 14 hertz range, as well as the 8 or 7.8 hertz range. It's pretty inactive right now. There's not much action going on. I think the Wi-Fi towers add to the symptoms. Yeah. Turn down the power. Go into your router settings and turn down the power on your router, and optionally turn them off at night. So they do have a profound effect on your body. Even though scientists say it doesn't really have much effect on us, it definitely does. Since GTBit admin asks again, since the spikes are much higher than last year, can we assume we are transitioning from 3D to 4D/5D consciousness? That is a very difficult question. I think globally consciousness is increasing, but it's very hard to objectively say, are we shifting from our three-dimensional consciousness to a higher level. But I think overall, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the 8 circuits model of consciousness by Timothy Leary. But essentially, these are kind of the levels of consciousness that the range of consciousness that we can experience as a human. It seems like, I would say the average person is probably around 2 to 4. The average adult human is probably around 2 to 4 in these circuits of consciousness. A lot of people that are more tuned in and they've kind of had mystical experiences and that sort of thing. They've dabbled in psychedelics, possibly. They've felt enlightened. They've had like religious experiences. I think those people are predominantly around the 5 to maybe even 8 range. People in the 8 range probably don't go on the internet. They access what I call the real internet, which is kind of the plane of consciousness where we can, in a way, like mentally communicate with other beings, which kind of sounds insane, but that's kind of the way I put it. But I think, like, predominantly, like I was saying, most adult humans probably exist between the 2 to 4 range, probably around, with like the most concentration in the 3 to 4 is probably the average individual. I think that as humans we are shifting across like this divide here, kind of this abyss, and into the 5 and above range. But I don't think in my lifetime, or possibly your lifetime, we're going to see the predominant human population in the 5 or 6 range or anything like that. Sheila Sutherland says the real internet is the Akashic Records. Very true. What about Starlink? Think that has an effect? And that was asked by M. Kelly. I mean, everything affects everything, but does it have any significant effect? I don't think so, just because the way that satellite internet works, it's not radio waves. They pretty much just beam lasers at the Earth. But it definitely could. I personally don't think it's a very profound effect, though. Do you think that our human frequencies affect and increase the Schumann resonance, or the other way around, or maybe both? They resonate and amplify. And that was asked by Laura Lyons. I think the human frequencies are downstream from the Schumann resonance, and what I mean by that is that I think that the Schumann resonance has a more profound effect on humans than humans do on the Schumann resonance. People have reported things like mass meditations relating to spikes in the Schumann resonance and that sort of thing, but it's possible that people organize for mass meditations, like maybe like subconsciously, when the Schumann resonance is beginning to increase in intensity, sort of how like rain dancers and shamans and that sort of thing can kind of tap into weathered patterns, and they're able to kind of like make a bridge between their conscious mind and their subconscious mind, and determine when rain patterns are. They can kind of like sense the weather patterns in the atmosphere, and like they'll do a ritual or like a rain dance right before it's about to rain and that sort of thing. Is there a link to this image? You can just Google Timothy Leary. You can just Google 8th Circuit Model of Consciousness. But I will post it in the chat. And that's actually it's a great theory. It was developed by a gentleman named Timothy Leary that did a lot of research into psychedelic mushrooms and that sort of thing in the 60s and 70s. He worked a lot with Terence McKenna, which is also a great individual. Can I still drink this top shelf tequila mixed with non-GMO Bloody Mary mix? Of course. That's funny. Those are the questions we should be asking, you know? Life doesn't have to be so serious all the time. Truth says, I love when you post this stuff. Yeah, I do it on Schumann bot just because I know a lot of people are going to see it, and I like to kind of just share that sort of information with people. But I think I might start a different account for that sort of thing, which is kind of what I do on Thrice Greatest, but it doesn't get nearly as many eyes as Schumann bot. Awesome truths. Spread it around. Share it. Unfortunately, I don't have any more resources regarding that right now, but that's something I can look into. It's been a while since I've researched that sort of thing. I can't talk right now. I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm sorry. So yeah, if you want to read more on that, I actually have a link here. I'll post that in the chat. The modern hermeticist. I see I'm in admin suite. Of course, you are. You're a big inspiration to me. All around great individual. Hey, do you want to make a space weather health warning app? I can invest a few thousand, maybe more, if I sell my Hot Wheels collection. LOL. No thanks, Secret Owl. I'm sorry. I'm not into mobile development or that sort of thing, and that's not something I plan to do in the future. I shall use my power for good. You better. That's funny. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. By the way, everyone should check out the Modern Hermeticist channel. It's a great channel. A lot of great podcasts, that sort of thing. A real academic, a lot smarter than I am. My voice is soothing, thank you. I should make some ASMR videos. Schumann resonance ASMR. Help you stay asleep while the resonance spikes or something like that. Oh guys, stop it. I'm flattered. Yes, Truth. So all the videos after the live stream is over automatically go to my channel, and you can refer back to it anytime. I think I'll upload some of those links on my website as well. I've heard that we've only been seeing these crazy spikes in the SR since around 2018. Do you know if that's true? So a lot of people say it started around 2012 or 2014, around that time. My charts only go back to 2018 or late 2017, so I haven't really been able to refer back to that kind of stuff. But I think to answer your question, I think it goes back way before 2018. The effect of the resonance on the moon sounds real interesting for obvious reasons, or rather the moon on the earth. Yeah, I think there is some correlation. I don't really have any evidence, but it's something I've been looking into. Come to think of it, I think the Schumann resonance on Mars is something that's very interesting as well, since we well, not necessarily all of us, but Elon Musk plans to travel there with a small group of people soon. Spiritual liftoff, I had my awakening in 2011, never been the same. Yeah, so mine was around 2016. It sounds kind of weird saying that, like I've had my awakening, but yeah, I did have a pretty intense experience in 2016, and before that, I was kind of like really a material atheist, and I didn't believe in spirituality or any of that sort of thing. I was raised Christian, and I just thought it was just stories and just a book, and my perspective has changed very much since. So does the molten core have anything to do with it? You gotta stop asking the hard questions, man. Give me some easy ones. I really don't know. I don't know. Scientists say that it's predominantly caused by lightning, but yeah, that's a difficult question. That's something I'll have to look into. Oh, Mars core isn't molten. Yeah, so I honestly think it has more to do with the circumference of the planet and kind of like the consistency of their atmosphere, but that is something I'll have to look into. Maybe he'll take the liberals with him. Oh boy, let's not get into politics. What is your website? My website is hermeticist.net. And I've been kind of lazy with it, but I do plan on building out all of these other websites, hermeticus.org, hermeticus.xyz, hermeticus.info, and chaoscult.org is actually active now. That's kind of just a blog that I have going. But yeah, so here you can find tons of information on the Schumann resonance, links to our Twitter. There is also a link to the live stream, which will probably link to this live stream now. In the future, it will link to the live charts. Then we also have the archive where you can go back and get the raw images that we have saved there. .info is actually live. It's just that I haven't necessarily had the time to really add to it and to build on it. But I plan on posting a bunch of interesting links and that sort of thing here. Right now, there are some interesting links, like this link to pssurvival.com that has a bunch of information on it's meant for surviving after the pole shift, if and when that'll ever occur, but it has a ton of useful information about just kind of like practical things and that sort of thing. There's also Temple of Solomon the King, which links to a bunch of esoteric books and that sort of thing, if this link is still active. Nope. I'll have to update that. People's soul groups awaken at different times. Yes, indeed. Laura Lyons says it may have to do with the magnetic fields caused by the sphere within a sphere, planet and ionosphere. Yes, that's very true. So our magnetic field is generated by the liquid core moving around. Thank you so much for great information, not a problem. My whole goal is kind of to be a conduit for information. Just like to get the information out there and have a bunch of eyes on these sort of things. Truth says, gotta go. Thanks for posting amazing stuff. God bless. That's okay to say, right? Yeah, sure, of course. God bless. How do I supercharge my talisman with Schumann rays to manifest BTC and Lambos? When I figure that one out, I'll let you know. I'll send over a tutorial. The secret is to make a Twitter bot, I guess. It's a little bit of esoteric knowledge there. I think this is going to be the last question, but Sheila Sutherland asks, do you think we will see the polar reversal soon? Your personal opinion, since from some accounts it appears overdue for reversal and the magnetosphere is weakening and moving fast. You can actually track the pole shift on some website. Honestly, I don't know. That's something that's incredibly unpredictable, but according to these maps and that sort of thing, the pole has already begun to move. It's shifted from magnetic north pole all the way out to the northeast of Greenland as of 2020. But as far as a flip or shifting or what's going to happen after that, I really have no idea. Sue's Light World is the Russian machine, the only one logging in the SR. No, it's not the only machine. The first machine was actually developed out of MIT, and then there was another monitoring station somewhere in Rhode Island, I think, somewhere around the University of Rhode Island campus, but I don't think that information is public. The reason I use the Russian machine is just because it's public info, it's publicly available, and I think it's the easiest to read. There's also an Italian station, and I'm sure if you Google it, there's several others, but in my opinion, the Russian station is the best. But I think that's it for now, guys. It's been about an hour or so. Had a lot of great questions, had a lot of great conversation going on. It's really nice to hear from you guys, interact with you guys. Yeah, happy Mother's Day, happy Schumann Sunday. Take care.